Now it's better than earlier, is it? Yeah, there are issues like like in anything when we are to do something, there are obstacles. YouTube live, we have to start. Okay. Now is the condition fine, children? Can we start? We did not start anything yet. Just wanted to see how the things before we start. It's good now. Okay, right. So before starting the work, today is our first day. Since you could not hear me well at the beginning, I'll just give a briefing of what I said. Now, today being the first day of our class, we are going to start the syllabus work. And last Saturday, we had an introductory session that is just to give you like information about the field of biology and the field of medicine and the university intake work. So that discussion we completed last Saturday. Now, if you missed that early, the first introductory session, this and don't forget to subscribe as well. Okay. And the first lecture is available there. What we did on last Saturday, it's available in the YouTube. So you can watch and don't miss that because I have given a lot of information about the books to purchase, what are the recommended books for you. So that basic introduction was done last Saturday. If there are if there are children, those who could not join with that, so I invite, please go to Charitha Munasinghe YouTube channel, and that introductory session is available at a leisure time. Please watch. It's not regarding the syllabus or academic work, but just for the preparation that is very essential. So hope now the things are clear. You can hear me well. As the first work, can you comment the area from which you are joining with us? Sound is low, sir. Hearing two voices. Okay, Nigambo, we have some children from Nigambo. Quickly mention the region from where you are joining with us. Kalmune, Kurunagala, Batiklo, Hatton, Balapitiya, Gampaha, Kalutara, Vattala, Kalabovila, that's very close by. Our studio is in Nugegoda, Rajagiriya. I was there in Rajagiriya a few years back, Vauniava. Okay, so that's how the children joining with us. In the YouTube live also you can comment mentioning from where are you joining with us. Pannipitiya. Is this, I don't know whether this is a true fact. Some are joining with us from Malaysia as well. Okay, right. How many of you joined with us on Saturday discussion? Just raise your hands. How many of you joined with us on the Saturday discussion? Okay, all right. Children, now today we are going to start the syllabus work. Until you get your tudes delivered, the PDF tude and the first paper, the memory booster, we call it the memory booster paper. The first paper and the PDF tude are available in the sound chest download, and even in YouTube description they are available for your temple use. But you can get this through the courier service once you register with the CCG online Mahagedara. And this is the first tutorial, which covers the first unit. So you can get this delivered through the courier service, and then the second tut and the tutorials will be posted to your addresses. So once you register, you can get them to your doorstep. And let's start the work then. Right. So as the very first thing, I would like to show you our syllabus. First, let's get to know the syllabus, because you know that the new syllabus started in 2019. In the new syllabus, we have 10 units. So I'll start with the syllabus. This is the tutorial that you will receive once you register. For time being, you can use the PDF. It's a full-color magazine printed. You can receive it once you register with the class. So you can see that we are doing the work at a different level, not just an ordinary class. Being the leader in the English medium biology lecturing of the country, we always try to standardize the field. So that is how we serve our children, and that is a service for the country as well. So I would like to start the work with the syllabus first. Right. You have to have your notebook with you. The printed note is provided to you. The first introductory lecture, I explained you that now we have a textbook provided by the government. And in case if you need any support in Sinhala terms, you can drop a message in the chat, either YouTube Live or in the Zoom chat. If you need any help in understanding the technical terms, I may help you in Sinhala. So if you need any such a help, let me know. Don't hesitate. But as an English medium class, we will be continuing the lessons in English medium. But at any time you need the support, we are happy to give you the kind of explanation, not everything in Sinhala, but kind of a briefing or a simple explanation can be given in Sinhala as well. Whenever you need, please let me know. Right. So as the first work, let's start with the syllabus. I want you to take out the notebooks. You have to have a separate notebook. This month, the class is going completely free. You can share the link with your friends and ask them to join with us. And let them join with the best online experience in English medium biology classes. So share the links with your friends and immediately invite them to join with us. The YouTube Live and the Zoom chat link are available with you. So please share it with your friends and make them aware of what is happening right now here at CCG Online Mahagedara Studio. Okay, so let's start with the work then. Take out the notebooks. First, we will be writing down the syllabus, not the entire detailed syllabus, but just the names of the 10 units. In our syllabus, we have 10 units to cover. And in our class plan, your syllabus will be covered 4 months before the exam. That's how the syllabus work is completed. 4 months before the exam, syllabus will be covered. But parallel to the theory class, we are now, even the very first day, we will be starting the paper discussion. You got the very first memory booster paper. It's with you. And every day we have that memory booster paper. Then we have unit test and we conduct mini A-level exam. And 1 year thorough revision paper class will be conducted, in which first the chapter-wise paper series is done, where you are given the topic already for that particular week. You have to study and prepare and come. So that will be done in the last year of your A-levels. So it will be a revision work. Having just 1 year to the exam, we will be starting the discussion of the syllabus once again from the very beginning with the revision work. So this is the most comprehensive and the most standard English medium biology course available in the country which has produced outstanding results. There's no any other class who can match with us in the class standards and in the results. Okay, so let's start the work. I want you to take out your notebooks and write biology, new syllabus, and we are going to write down the 10 units. Right. So have you taken your notebooks and are you ready to the writing work, children? So how can we get the PDF? It's available in the chat. It's available in the chat. The memory booster number 1 and unit 1 PDF is available. You can get that magazine once you register to the class. You will receive it. Are you ready, children? Shall we start then? Okay. So write biology new syllabus. And you can see the syllabus in the given display. Unit 1, Introduction to Biology. Unit 1, Introduction to Biology. That's what we are starting today. Unit 1, Introduction to Biology. Then Unit 2, Chemical and Cellular Basis of Life. Today we are starting the syllabus work, children. Last week I explained many things on the Saturday introductory lecture. So now is the work. We are going to start the work now. Unit 1, Introduction to Biology. Unit 2, Chemical and Cellular Basis of Life. You can see the syllabus on the screen too. Chemical and Cellular Basis of Life. So let me just ask you some questions. Children, being living organisms, just look at if there's anybody nearby, your mother, your father, your brothers, sisters, whoever nearby. Just see the body of that living organism and tell me there are 4 basic organic compounds which compose the bodies of living organisms. What are those? I want your answers in an online class. It has to be two-way communication. I really like it rather than just providing you information. I want the feedback. So please respond by answering. What are the 4 main organic compounds which compose the bodies of living organisms, whether it's an animal or a plant or microorganism, whoever, no difference. Basically, these 4 organic compounds compose their bodies. I ask compounds, but I can see some children are answering with the elements. We can discuss the elemental composition later. So first give me the idea about the compounds. Those who had commented carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, yes, you are correct. They are the 4 most abundant compounds in bodies. But what I asked is not that. What I asked is what are the main 4 organic compounds present in bodies of living organisms? So I got the correct answer. There were many correct answers. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. Correct. And what are the 2 types of nucleic acids, children? What are the 2 types of nucleic acids? Quickly respond. DNA and RNA. So DNA is storing the blueprint of us. Now, our characteristics are governed by the genes. Okay? So all my characteristics are governed by genes. The blueprint, how tall I am, my skin color, my eye color, my hair type, my intelligence. So all these characteristics are written in a secret code that we call the genetic code in our DNA. So we will be studying about these organic compounds, the main biological molecules of living organisms in this lesson, chemical basis of life. That will be started once the introduction to biology lesson is completed. Okay. Then the unit number 2, as we said, chemical and cellular basis of life is the unit 2. Okay, so hope you have learned in O levels about the 2 types of cellular organizations. Tell me, what are the main 2 types of cellular organizations that we can see in living organisms? I need answers both in the Zoom chat and YouTube live. Children, just comment your answers. Let's keep this an active discussion rather than just delivering of a lecture. Yes, I'm getting the correct answer. My question was, what are the main 2 cellular organizations found in living organisms? Right. Some children are answering unicellular and multicellular. Actually, pata now, unicellular, multicellular are the forms of living organisms, how the body forms are. What I asked is a cellular organization. You know that if the nucleus, well-organized nucleus is present in a cell, how do we call it? We call it a eukaryotic cell. That is a eukaryotic cellular organization. And that is considered as the advanced cellular organization as well. Being humans, we are eukaryotes because we have a well-organized nucleus surrounded by the nuclear envelope. And if we take bacterial cells for an example, let me just explain you that in the whiteboard. Right. The 2 cellular organizations, as you know, the prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Cellular organization and eukaryotic cellular organization. In Sinhala, they call it the Pragnyastika Sylla Sangvidhane and Sunyastika Sylla Sangvidhane. In English, we call it prokaryotic and eukaryotic cellular organization. In prokaryotic cellular organization, for example, bacterial cells have prokaryotic cellular organization. That is, they don't have a nucleus. The genetic material, that is also DNA, is present just in the cytoplasm. So this is the simple cellular organization where there's no nucleus, just the genetic material is present in the cytoplasm. That is what we call the prokaryotic cellular organization. Which organisms have the prokaryotic cellular organization, children? It's available in bacteria, cyanobacteria, and archaebacteria. If you have learned in O levels, in domain bacteria and domain archaea, you can see the prokaryotic cellular organization. And in contrast to this, eukaryotic cells, like animal cells, plant cells, have a membrane-bound nucleus. Okay? You know that nucleus is a double membrane-bound organelle. So this is the nucleus. We will be learning about these organelles soon. And the nucleolus is there, the chromatin, the genetic material. Okay, we can later study the structure of the cells, but just I wanted you to understand, since some made a mistake, these are the 2 cellular organizations available in the living world. We call them, right? Study with me. What are the 2 types, children? Prokaryotic cellular organization, the simple form, and the eukaryotic cellular organization, the advanced form of cellular organization. Okay? So that is the first discussion of Unit 2, Chemical and Cellular Basis of Life. In cellular basis, we will be talking about cellular organelles. Now, if I ask you some questions, quickly respond. Which organelle is considered as the powerhouse of the cell? Let's keep the chat active. Which organelle is considered as the powerhouse of the cell, children? Yes, you are correct. It's mitochondrion. Mitochondrion is responsible for generating ATP energy. So that is considered as the powerhouse of the cell. And what is considered as the control center of the cell? What is considered as the control center of the cell? Yes, it's the nucleus. It's the nucleus. And which subcellular structure is responsible in synthesizing proteins, children? You guys are smart than I thought. Yes, correct. It's the ribosome. It's the ribosome. Proteins are synthesized by the ribosomes. Okay, then which organelle is involved in photosynthesis in plants and algae? Quickly respond. Yes, correct. Chloroplast. Seems like you have done your ovals good. Right. So that is unit number 2, in which we are going to discuss about the organic compounds, the biological molecules composing bodies of living organisms, and then the cellular organizations. Prokaryotic and eukaryotic are the 2 types of cellular organizations. Right. There are some questions regarding our class plan. I'll give you the plans little later, children. And actually, I was basically focused on the physical classes, and in all the cities where I did classes, I could become the leading teacher in both English medium and Sinhala medium. So this time, joining with CCG online Mahagedara, I thought of like, teaching to the country rather than just teaching only in Colombo, because basically I'm based in Colombo and conduct classes in Colombo only. We have produced really good results in Colombo, and we standardized English medium education in Colombo. So there were many invitations to extend that service to the whole country. So I decided to conduct a pure online class, joining with in collaboration with the CCG Online Mahagedara. So you will be provided with the best teaching, best technology, and let's produce the best results with this plan. Okay, right. So moving back to our discussion, unit number 3, as you can see on the screen, is evolution and diversity of organisms. Children, those who are joining now, we are writing down the syllabus as the first work of the first day of our class, while explaining bit about what are to be learned in these lessons. So this is unit number 3. Please take down unit number 3, evolution and diversity of organisms. And hope everything is going fine. Can't see the screen, sir. Is the comment by a child. Okay, now you can see, right, children? Now you can see the screen, can't you? Now, okay, right, fine. Mention unit 3, evolution and diversity of organisms. Right. Tell me, what do you know about evolution, children? It's a revolutionary idea which kind of challenge all the religions. There may be Buddhists here, Catholics, and children following Islam, even Hinduism. None of the mainstream religions discuss about evolution. So evolution is a concept which is a kind of considered as a threat for the religions at that time. Now, who proposed the theory of evolution, children? As you know, Who proposed the theory of evolution? Charles Darwin, and there's another scientist actually. Though only one figure was highlighted, there are two scientists who explained the process of evolution using the same concept that we call the theory of natural selection. We call it theory of natural selection. Charles Darwin and Francis Watt. Come on, you are like blending so many names. No, it's okay. You are welcome to make mistakes here. Class is the place to make mistakes, and don't hesitate. You can give any of your answers. We accept. So make all the mistakes in the class and finally make no mistake in the exam. That's our target. Some say Aristotle, but that's not the correct answer. Now, in the tute you have, the PDF tutes are available for your temporary use. If you just turn to page number 16. In page number 16, there's just a briefing about the two scientists who put forward the theory of evolution. Right. So many answered that theory of evolution was put forward by Charles Darwin. You are correct. Theory of natural selection was suggested by Charles Darwin, and there was another scientist who had the same idea. He is Alfred Russel Wallace. So at least being bio students, you should know that there were two scientists who suggested the theory of natural selection, or the evolution process by means of natural selection, that was suggested by these two scientists. Okay, so in unit 3, we're talking about theories of evolution and how the evolution has diversified the life on Earth. That will be discussed in unit 3. I'll just show you a video about the evolution process. I'll show you the video. Right, let's watch it now. Just to raise the curiosity,
one question: why is there such a stunning diversity of life? One answer: evolution. Charles Darwin's brilliant theory that explains how species adapt and change. It's been called the best idea anyone's ever had. But there's one big problem. How does it actually work? Now, strong science is answering that question. It is uncovering the hidden mechanisms inside creatures' bodies that can explain astonishing transformations, like how birds can evolve from dinosaurs. The fish was once your ancestor. And above all, what makes us human. Right now on Nova, we'll find out what Darwin never knew. Is provided by the following. The tree of life on earth is one of stunning diversity. Species of birds. 50,000 kinds of beetles. 28,000 types of fish. And species and counting. Just one.
Like some of the children only experience it, could not hear.
But is there such an immense variety around us? There's so many types of fish, so many different species of beetles. How did this extraordinary profusion of life on Earth come about? Today, we celebrate the man who will ultimately answer that question. Charles Darwin. He was born 200 years ago, and it is 150 years since he published the work
Hope you can hear
that
that.
has become the bedrock
Give me
of our
feedback.
understanding of
Yes,
life
we
on
always
Earth.
need your feedback to check.
What Darwin wanted to understand is how you get this
Is
extraordinary diversity of life on Earth.
it now only or from the beginning? Can you, like, could you hear well? Do you want me to play that part from the beginning?
His account of why species adapt
Could
and
you,
change
if you want, like,
has
if you
been
could
called
not
the
hear
best idea
from the beginning,
we've ever had. But even Darwin admitted that his work was incomplete.
right, so,
Best questions were
wonderful video.
One
We will be
question.
just going through the introductory part of the video about the evolution. Just get the idea. Now hope you can hear well. All good now.
one answer. Evolution. Charles Darwin's brilliant theory.
Now is everything fine, children?
Species adapt and change.
Is everything fine?
It's been
Is our technical team is working on this
ever had.
complaint?
But there's
Can you hear
one
that?
big problem. How does it actually
Quickly
work?
give a feedback. You could not see the screen.
Now, extraordinary science is answering that question. It is uncovering
Okay.
the hidden mechanisms in one question. Why is there such a stunning diversity of life?
Can you see the screen?
Evolution. Charles Darwin's brilliant theory that explains how species adapt and change. It's been called the best idea anyone ever had. But there's one big problem. How does it actually work? Now, extraordinary science is answering that question. It is uncovering the hidden mechanisms inside creatures' bodies that can explain astonishing transformations, like how birds can evolve from dinosaurs.
Children, those who are joining with us through the YouTube live, is everything fine?
And above all, what makes us human. Right now on Nova, you'll find out what Darwin never knew.
Funding for Nova is provided by the following.
The tree of life on earth is one of
Sound is not enough. Can't hear.
— 9,000 species of birds, 350,000 kinds of beetles,
Now how is it?
28,000 types of fish,
Now is it better, children?
2 million.
There was a complaint that volume is not enough. Is it sorted now?
And we are just one of them.
Still not.
But why is there such an amazing variety of animals? Why are there so many types of fish? So many different species of—
Your complaint is sound is low.
How did this extraordinary profusion of life on Earth come about? Today, we celebrate the man who would ultimately answer that question.
Right. Anyway, we will be learning this in Unit 3. I just wanted to show you
Years ago, and it is 100
the concept of evolution only. This is
that has become
Charles Darwin's
of our
The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection book, which kind of revolutionized the field of biology.
He really nailed Darwin's theory of
Okay, so that is unit number
species adapt and change. And called the best
3. We can learn about these concepts in detail later, children. Just
is incomplete.
right. We will be discussing this in detail in Unit 3, Evolution and Diversity of Organisms. Then Unit 4, Plant Form and Function. Next, right? That was Unit 3. We had a little chat about evolution process. It's an interesting lesson. We can discuss things in detail when we start Unit 3. Just an introduction only I did now with the video. Right, okay. Then let's continue writing the syllabus. This is Unit 4, Plant, Form and Function. Plant, Form and Function. Right. Then the favorite unit of most of the children, that is Animal Form and Function. Unit 5, right? Animal Form and Function. Right, Unit 5, Animal Form and Function. Unit 5, Animal Form and Function. This is the lesson in which we are going to study about the human biology. Now, how many of you prefer human biology? I mean, in biology, like some children like botany part, the plant biology part. Right. Just mention in the chat which field of biology you prefer the most. Is it human biology part, or is it plant biology? Is it microbiology, or is it genetics? Is it DNA technology? What is your favorite? The common likeness is most of the children like medicine in this field, therefore they like human biology part. So the most interesting lesson for children seems to be Unit 5, in which we study about the human body. Right. Now, you know that animal bodies are composed of 4 types of tissues. What are those? Quickly comment, children. What are the 4 types of tissues composing animal bodies? Okay, just feel yourself, the external surface, like I'm doing now. What is this tissue? What is this tissue? This is the skin epidermis, which represents epithelial tissues. Okay, then squeeze your bicep. Squeeze your bicep. What is that? It is muscle tissue. If you feel deeper, you can see the bones. What is the bone present in the upper arm? If anybody knows the answer, what is the bone present in the upper arm? Nobody knows? To be doctors? Femur is the thigh bone, Putta. Femur is the thigh bone. It is the largest bone in our body. This is the humerus. We call it the humerus. The bone present in the upper arm region is humerus. And in the forearm region, which bones are present? Here you can see the cubital fossa, and if we remove the muscles, then we can see the bones. Here you can see the human anatomy. This is going to be the most interesting lesson for you. The muscles, the bones, and here you can see the vertebral column. And this is the chest bone in the middle of the chest. Which bone is present? That is the sternum, the blood vessels, and here you can see the vertebral column. These are the ribs. This is the posterior view. If I'm like this in front of you, the posterior, the view from the back. This is the sacrum. So this is not the time of teaching this lesson. This is just an introduction I'm doing today. So with the technology and also with the real specimen, we will be discussing the human biology. As a doctor, I can teach you it in a very interesting way. Okay, so that is Unit 5. The most anticipated unit of our children is Unit 5, the human biology, because most of our children like to become doctors. So if you want to become a doctor, you should have a really good understanding about the human anatomy, because when you are to perform a certain surgery, especially if you want to become a surgeon, you need to have a deep understanding about where you make your incisions and what tissues are present underneath. So it's like you can't experiment. You have to have the complete understanding before you proceed your surgery. And Unit 5 is the lesson in which we find the highest attendance of children. In our statistics, we can see the graph is, increasing, and there's a particular time period where we see a kind of a amplitude, a high peak in the graphs. That is the reproduction lesson where we find the highest attendance. And not funny, but this is the reality. Like in our theory classes, I have seen, like when the lesson reproduction is done, even the children, those who are doing math stream and commerce stream, they also join with us, because when I ask them, why did you come? They say that we want to learn it well. Yeah, that's of course correct, because when you have more knowledge, you have more skill as well. So in all the fields, it's the same. So human biology is the basic foundation for medicine. So that will be discussed. And human biology lesson, this animal form and function covers about 50% of the syllabus, children. It covers about 50% of the syllabus and nearly about 50 marks out of 100 given for this unit. So let's discuss this very thoroughly. Okay, then let's move on with the next unit. Unit 5 was animal form and function, and the next is genetics, that is unit 6. Right here. Genetics. Here we study about the inheritance of characteristics. Now, if I ask you, how many of you can roll your tongue, children? Put your tongue out, everybody. Put your tongue out, please. And try to roll it. If I just demonstrate, not with my tongue though. Here, just assume that this is my tongue. See, it's a large one. Okay. So put your tongue out and roll it like a tube, not with the hand, just by the tongue intrinsic muscles. Just roll your tongue like a tube. And if there's somebody nearby, show that person and ask whether the tongue has actually rolled. Okay. So how many of you can roll your tongue? Just mention whether you are a tongue roller or tongue non-roller. Children, can you hear me well? Yes. Okay, good. Just mention whether you are a tongue roller or a tongue non-roller. Okay. Tongue rollers are here and tongue non-rollers are here. Let me explain you the secret behind this tongue rolling skill. Some tongue talents. Right, look at here. Let's have a basic understanding. How is this determined? In O levels, you have learnt about the genes. In A levels, you will be learning some more about the alleles of genes. This is not the time to teach. I'll teach you them later. This tongue rolling ability is governed by a particular gene which has two alternative forms. We denote them as capital R and simple r. We denote them as capital R and simple r. Okay? This is the dominant allele or the dominant gene which produces the rolling tongue, and the recessive allele simple r produces the non-rolling tongue. So the individuals, those have capital R genotype and capital R simple r genotype can roll their tongues like a tube. It's a bit difficult to draw it. I'll just draw. This is the rolled tongue. And if you have a simple R genotype, you can't roll your tongue. So this is genetics. The genes are governing your characteristics. This is one, the tongue rolling ability. Tongue rollers, you are either dominant homozygotes, we call this combination as dominant homozygous combination, capital R, or capital R simple r is called the heterozygous combination of alleles. And if there's anybody who cannot roll your tongue, that is due to the homozygous recessive genotype where you have simple R genotype. Okay, then another example. Now, when you smile, if there's a person nearby, give a lovely smile, children. This is your eyes, nose, and here is the mouth. And when you smile, some get dimple cheek. It's difficult to draw. I'll draw it like this. This is not any patch. That's the dimple. The dimple cheek. So how many of you have dimple cheek, children? Quickly mention whether you have a dimple cheek or a non-dimple cheek. Children, can you hear me? Some children, is there any difficulty? Internet connection ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා වගේ පොඩ්ඩක්. මේ ඩිස්ප්ලේ එකේ දන්නේ නැහැ. Children, can you hear me? Zoom එක disconnect කළාද? මෙතන disconnect කළාද? මේ screen එකේ වෙන්නේ නැති මම හිතන ප්‍රශ්නේ. Wait, children. There's a small technical issue. It was a little technical issue. Now I think it's rectified. Okay, so we were writing genetics as the 6th unit, and those who have dimple cheek, that is governed by a dominant gene. The very correct term is allele. Until you learn genetics, I'll use the term gene. Capital D. Capital D gives you the dimple cheek, and simple D gene gives you the non-dimple cheek. And what do you think, children? Which one is beautiful? Now, for an example, I don't have a dimple cheek. I have the non-dimple cheek. So what is more beautiful? What's your idea? The dimple cheek or the non-dimple cheek? What is more attractive? What is more beautiful? Right. Some say it's the dimple cheek and some say it's the non-dimple cheek. The beauty is somewhat relative depending on the person. Anyway, so in this case of dimpled and the non-dimpled cheek, this is the non-dimpled cheek. So those who have the dimpled cheek, you can be happy. It's said that the dimpled cheek is beautiful. Okay, those who don't have say it's not beautiful because they don't have it. So you can be happy that the dimpled cheek is said to be beautiful. And the non-dimpled cheek children, you can also be happy because this is a kind of a disease actually. There's a little muscle defect in their cheek. Due to the muscle defect only, this depression appears when they smile. So you can be happy that because you are a healthy person. This is in a way a beautiful disease, simply a muscle defect in the cheek region. But the non-dimple cheek is the healthy one. So both parties are happy, I think. The dimple cheek people, you can be happy that it's beautiful. And the non-dimple cheek is, in comparison, this is the healthy one where there's no any muscle weakness or a muscle defect. Okay? And we will be learning more about these hereditary characteristics in the lesson genetics. Who is considered as the father of modern genetics, children? Who is considered as the father of modern genetics? That's Gregor Mendel. The famous experiments conducted by Gregor Mendel using Pisum sativum or the garden peas. Right. We will be learning about those principles suggested by Mendel and some non-Mendelian patterns and the population genetics basics like Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Those will be discussed in Unit 6. Okay. The children joining with us now, we are discussing the syllabus. This is the 7th unit, Molecular Biology and Recombinant DNA Technology. It's a newly introduced unit to the syllabus and really, really interesting. Note down, children, Unit 7, Molecular Biology and Recombinant DNA Technology. What we mean as recombinant DNA technology is we can recombine genes as we wish. This is a fascinating field. In the introductory lecture also I talked about the de-extinction process of direwolves. So rather than thinking traditionally, I invite our children to go with the global trends rather than just focusing, everybody focusing on medicine. There are some other fascinating fields as well. One of them is recombinant, the DNA technology. You can become a DNA scientist. As I said in the introductory lecture too, in the recent past, I had some children from Visakha and Srimao, as far as I remember, who got selected to medical faculty, but still they preferred entering to the degree of molecular biology rather than becoming doctors. So one thing that I want to emphasize is follow your passion, children. You better follow your passion because you can succeed in the field that you really like. Now see, being a doctor, still I enjoy teaching. So the secret behind in my professional success as a teacher is I really enjoy teaching and I really like teaching. I'm passionate about teaching. My parents are also teachers, so I have the genetic blessing as well. So when we do something that we really like, we can outperform the others. So that's a message that I want to give you. When you are selecting your future profession, make sure that you are entering to a field that you really like. Not because the others force you, not because of the parental influence, not because of the influence by the relatives or the neighbors. You should like the field you are entering. Okay, so that's the 7th unit, molecular biology and recombinant technology, where the genetic modifications are done. If I give you just one example, which insect can emit light, children? Give me some examples for animals who are emitting light, who can produce light. One good example is the fireflies. Hanamadiria in Sinhala. Fireflies. How do they produce light, children? What is the secret? How do they emit light? How can they produce light? That's basically purely by chemical reactions. By certain chemical reactions only, the energy is transformed into light energy. You know that energy can be transformed into different forms. As you know, in photosynthesis, the light energy is converted to chemical energy, and energy can be converted into heat energy. Now, what you hear is sound energy, what you see is light energy. Like that, the transformations are possible. So, this is a process in which chemical energy is converted back into light energy. The chemical energy, now light energy got converted into chemical energy by photosynthesis, and that energy is stored within the chemical compounds. And in this process, what they do is they convert the chemical energy back into light. So that's governed by genes. These chemical reactions are catalyzed by specific enzymes. The enzymes are coded by the genes. So if we can identify those particular genes which make them possible of emitting light, and if we can introduce those genes to some other species, they also will do the same. Because we share a common genetic code. The way that the information is written in our bodies is similar to the way that the information is written in other species, even bacteria, plants, and other species. Therefore, it's like just copying some information from one book and pasting in another book. Because it's the common way that all the species store their information, genetic information. So, scientists have experimented on this and they succeeded actually. They could introduce these light emitting genes of fireflies to tobacco plants. The result, the plants can emit light. Now it's a project or a experiment that they could produce the result that they promised, and now they have produced the light emitting plants. So in the future, instead of the street lights, we will have these light emitting plants. So see how beautiful. Even there will be parks with the light emitting plants. So at night you can go and have you can enjoy. And theoretically, it's possible to get those genes into humans as well. But they haven't done it. I don't know whether, as far as I know, they are not experimenting on that so far, because we have some, legal restrictions for these research work. So even those firefly genes can be introduced to humans. If that is successful, then the humans can emit light. So it will be very useful in a country like Sri Lanka, where we get a lot of power failures. So at such a time, like the fireflies do, you can just shake your body and get your lights on, and then that will help you in your studies. Okay, so let's talk about the recombinant DNA technology in Unit 7. And then moving to Unit 8, Environmental Biology, list down. Children, those who are joining now, we are discussing the syllabus first, as the first day of our class. Environmental Biology is Unit 8, where we study about the environment, the conservation, the extinction of species, many more interesting things. And then Unit 9, Microbiology. Unit 9, Microbiology. Note down. Unit 9, Microbiology. Who are microorganisms, children? Who are microorganisms? Microorganisms are the organisms which cannot be seen with our naked eyes, unaided eyes. We can observe them using microscopes only, maybe a light microscope or a electron microscope. Okay. Do you know the size of the smallest object that we can observe? Size of the smallest object that we can observe with the human eyes? What is the size of the smallest object that we can observe with the human eyes, children? It's 0.1 millimeters. It's 0.1 millimeters. Okay. The smallest size that we can observe with the human eye is 0.1 millimeters. So all the microorganisms are smaller than this. That's why they cannot be seen with the naked eyes. Some examples like bacteria, viruses. Viruses are very small, so they cannot be observed even with the light microscope. Bacteria can be observed with the light microscope. How many of you are interested in microbiology? Are there children, those who are planning to become microorganisms one day? But I mean, the microbiologists. Because what I believe is our children should diversify their targets. It's too traditional to think that everybody should become doctors. Yes, of course, practicing medicine is a good service, but there are some other very fascinating, especially when the biology and the technology blend. That is very interesting. Hope you are aware of the Neuralink project by Elon Musk, and many other projects are there. I'll talk about them in the days to come. Since this is the introductory lecture, I'm just discussing certain things only today. So with the future lessons, we are going to have this discussion for 2.5 years. So we have ample time to discuss things. Sometimes by the time we complete the syllabus, you might have changed your targets even, because you may identify the real field to which you are passionate about. Okay, so the 10th unit, our 9th is microbiology, and the 10th is what? Applied biology. Unit 10 here, right? Applied biology. Unit 10, applied biology. So first we completed the discussion about the syllabus. Now you are aware the 10 units that we are supposed to study in our syllabus, and the content, the detailed content is given in the tutorial. So you are not supposed to study, okay? Just for you to have an idea what you are supposed to study in our syllabus, only I have given you the detailed syllabus. Okay, so then let's start the work. Now you are aware of the units to be studied. Let's start the first one then. In the notebook, write Introduction to Biology. This is Unit 1. First mention Unit 1, Introduction to Biology. Introduction to Biology. Now you can see that our tutorials are the next level. You are not joining with just a traditional biology class. It's an international standard biology class. you are experiencing? Right, okay. So mention, note down. Let's start unit 1. Introduction to biology. Unit 1, Introduction to biology. Right. Now I want you to read this content with me. Children, in biology, the syllabus is so huge. We have a wide scope to cover, and actually covering the syllabus on time is a challenge in biology. Therefore, what I have planned is you will be provided with the printed material. Now, you know that you are given a textbook by the government. That's what we call the resource book. I did that introduction last week, therefore I'm not going to explain them again. If by any chance you missed it, you can watch the last Saturday discussion. It's available in Charitha Munasinghe YouTube channel. You can watch and get that basic information that you need before you starting your A-levels. Okay? So what we do is we have provided you the printed material, that's the tute. You will be given these tutorials for each and every unit, and you can get them through the courier service once you register to the class. Okay? And we will be writing the essence of the syllabus only, not each and every detail, because if we are to write each and every detail, we will not be able to cover the syllabus on time. So there are some options available for you. The printed tute is available for you to study, and we will be writing the essence. The most important parts of the syllabus will be written in a separate notebook. And if any of you feel like you need to write the entire syllabus, what you can do is you can maintain a separate notebook, and every day, every week, once we complete the lesson, since you have the printed notes with you, you can write the content that we discussed in that particular week in your notebook. So as you wish, you can plan that. Okay, so let's start reading. Unit 1, the first content. I'll use the hard copy for my convenience. You can get this hard copy once you register to the class that will be delivered through the courier service. Okay, let's start reading. The PDF is available for the children, those who are joining now. PDF is available in the YouTube live description, and also in the Zoom chat, the tute PDF is available, plus the first memory booster paper is available. We will be taking that to discussion in a while. Okay. Right. So let's start reading. I want you to read with me, children, because in online education, there are certain aspects that we have to fulfill. Otherwise, it will go very passive, and to produce good result, you have to, be active and responsive in the class. So I want you to read this content with me. Either you can refer to the screen note or to the PDF that you already have with you. Okay, let's start reading, children. Introduction to biology. Biology is a science which is focused on studying of living organisms. And this is how the word biology is composed. Bios is life, and logos is study of the science. The concept of life is not easy to define. If somebody asks you what is life, not how is life, but if somebody is asking you what is life, it's very difficult to explain in simple terms. There's no one solid definition for life because it's too complex and it cannot be defined easily, and it cannot be explained just simply with the physics and chemistry principles. Right, go ahead. Still, scientists are unable to provide an acceptable definition for life. Children, again reminding you, since this is English medium class, I will be delivering the lecture in English, but at any time, you can ask your doubts, questions if you do not understand terms, or if you need a little Sinhala clarification, I can help in that way. Unfortunately, I'm unable to explain the things in Tamil. I just know little Tamil only. Therefore, in case if you need, don't hesitate, just inform me. but not the entire lesson, but when necessary, a little or briefing in Sinhala can be done. Because there are children joining with us all around the country, because there can be children who need some support in English as well. But don't make it an obstacle. We are there to help you, because we need to uplift English medium education in Sri Lanka, because I personally believe that studying biology in English is easier, children. Sometimes English medium children shift to Sinhala medium after O levels. So sometimes in physical classes, they come and ask me, sir, is it okay for me to shift to Sinhala medium? But my personal opinion is that is not advisable. Better to continue whatever the medium that you followed in O levels, in A levels as well. Actually, learning biology is easier in English. Now, for an example, now if I ask you what is this bone in the upper arm, you previously we learned that it's humerus. But the singular term for this is pragandasthia. Okay? And when I keep the hand on my hip, I can feel a bone here. Okay? The singular term for this is jagana palakasthia. Okay? And the shin bone that you have in the calf region, shin bone, the technical term in English is tibia, that is called tibia. And the singular term is jangasthia. Okay? And the next one to the tibia is fibula in English. The singular term is anujangasthia. And if we take the bones in the wrist region, we call these carpals. And the singular term is hastakurchasti. Okay, so those who are planning to shift to singular medium, I'm giving you the idea. The bones which are present in the palm region, which we call metacarpals in English, are called hastakurchopari in Sinhala. So you understand that in Sinhala, studying biology is really tough. But it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, because there are many children doing with it. I also conduct Sinhala medium classes, but being a teacher who conduct classes in both English and Sinhala for biology children, I personally know that English medium is easier. Okay, so here in CCG online Mahagedara, we have a very experienced panel of teachers for English medium lecturing. So get that support, and you can continue your English medium from even out of Sri Lanka, because there are some children joining with us from foreign as well, but Sri Lankan children, those who are planning to do the local A levels, we have children from Dubai and some other countries, even from UK. Due to certain reasons, they are residing with their parents, but still they want to do the local A levels. So they join with us. So we are here to support you and provide you the best English medium education that you can obtain from Sri Lanka. So CCG online Mahagedara is ready to provide you that service. You can join with the other subjects as well. And don't be experimented, children, because this is your future. Now, sometimes like children may just decide the teachers without checking their qualifications, without checking their past history, the track records, the results. Just because of marketing, don't select a teacher, because your life should not be experimented, because you have big dreams, you have big hopes. Due to the weakness of a teacher, if that is going to be tarnished, actually, I mean, your decisions that you make today, you will decide your future. Therefore, take these decisions very carefully. When you are going to get medicine, some medical advices from a doctor, you check whether this doctor is a qualified one, whether he is working in a government hospital. So various things you consider. Even when you want to like buy some food, we just check the restaurant reviews and everything. But when you are selecting a teacher, sometimes you make very bad decisions. So make sure that you are not just following your friends. Use your brain and find the best teachers, go to all the classes and see who is the most compatible and most talented, experienced teacher, and then be with that class, and then you can produce your result and you can reach your targets. Otherwise, sometimes children are experimented. So don't let your life, your future be experimented. Learn from very qualified, experienced teachers with a history of outstanding results. So here we are for you, being the leader in English medium biology lecturing in Sri Lanka. We provide you the best lectures, best explanations, best printed materials, the best paper class experience, and the best result. Okay? Right. Okay, let's continue with the work. We were reading the content here. The concept of life is not easy to define. Still, scientists are unable to provide an acceptable definition for life. Continue reading, children. Life is something special and unique which cannot be explained using laws of chemistry and physics. These are not to study, just to read. Biology is a subject which is very complex and vast. Hence, for the convenience of studying, it has been divided into 3 primary branches. Okay? 3 primary branches. They are zoology, botany, and microbiology. The 3 main branches of biology are zoology, botany, and microbiology. Zoology is what, children? The description is given in the tube. Read. Zoology is what? The study of animals. Botany is what? The study of plants. And microbiology is the study of microorganisms. Right. Let's continue writing the note, children. We listed down the syllabus first, and now we started the Unit 1, Introduction to Biology. Please start writing. Under the topic Introduction to Biology, start writing the note. Biology is a science which is focused on studying of living organisms. Biology is a science which is focused on studying of living organisms. Please do write, because writing is essential. When you are studying, also make sure that you write the content while you are studying. That will help you to memorize the stuff. Just reading will not give you the best memory. And better if you can have a fixed board in your room rather than just reading the note. You may explain it. You can just be the teacher. Once a certain lesson is done in your class, whether it's chemistry, physics, or biology, doesn't matter. You can be the teacher. You can simply teach it to a imaginary audience. If you have some siblings, younger brothers, sisters, you can use them for this work. You can be the teacher and you can teach them. Okay? Teaching is a really effective and productive way of learning. So try to use it. I'll give the tips little by little. So it's better if you can have a little whiteboard or a blackboard or whatever. Even a cardboard, I don't mind. If you can use it, have something in your room and use it in your education. Rather than passively reading the notes, you can teach like a teacher. That will help you to understand the concept by yourself, because without understanding something clearly, you can't explain it. When you are explaining, even when a physics sum is done, you can explain like your teacher does in the class. So if you can do that, it means you have understood the concept well. If you're stuck somewhere, that means you haven't got it well. Okay, let's continue. We mentioned that biology is a science which is focused on studying of living organisms. Next line, next point. For the convenience of studying, biology has been divided into three primary branches. For the convenience of studying, country writing children, for the convenience of studying, biology has been divided into three primary branches. Number one, zoology. Number one, zoology. Number two, botany. Number three, microbiology. Number one, zoology. Number two, botany. And number three, microbiology. Those are the three primary branches in biology. Right, continue reading the note, children. Some areas of study in these branches include cell biology, studying cells. Histology, that is studying tissues. What are the tissues found in plants, children? Which tissue is used in conduction of water and minerals? That is the xylem tissue. Which tissue is used in transporting food in plants? That is the phloem tissue. In addition, you may have heard that parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma like tissues are also available in plants. And animals basically composed of four types of tissues. What are those? Quickly comment. Quickly comment, children. What are the four types of tissues found in animal bodies? Epithelia, or the epithelial tissues, muscle tissue, nervous tissue, and the connective tissues. Those are the four basic tissues which compose animal bodies. So in histology, we will be studying, this is a branch of biology. Histology discusses regarding the tissues. In which organisms can we see tissues, children? Only animals and plants. There are no tissues in other organisms, only animals and plants have tissues. Okay? Right. Then the next branch, anatomy, studying about gross structure of the body. Studying about gross structure of the body. Physiology is studying the functioning of the body. Now, in the medical school, there is a subject called anatomy in which you do the body dissections. Are you scared of dead bodies, children? If you have visited medical exhibitions, you may have seen the preserved dead bodies that are dissected by medical students. We call them cadavers. Are you scared of bones? I mean, the skull, the dead bodies. How is your personal preference? One thing, because you have to be mentally strong to become a doctor. Because some children talk about, like becoming surgeons and all, but they can't see blood. So make sure that you have the mental strength that is needed to become a doctor. Because a doctor should not panic. Even in very stressful situations, they should be calm and quiet and capable of handling the situation. Okay? So how is your idea, children? I'll check your chat there. How do you feel? Are you scared of dead bodies? The skull? No, right? It becomes just a part of, the life of a medical student or a doctor. Okay, right. So let's continue reading. In medical school, you will be given a dead body, preserved dead body for your studies for the subject anatomy. There you will be studying the gross structure, children. By dissecting the body, you will be studying the gross structure. Now, when it comes to the heart, for an example, let's say, how many chambers are there in the heart, children? In the human heart, how many chambers are there? 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. What are the 3 layers of the heart wall, children? There are 3 layers in the heart wall. What are those? We call it the endocardium, the myocardium, and the pericardium. Endocardium, myocardium, and pericardium are the 3 layers of the heart wall. So in anatomy, we study the gross structure, and in physiology, we study the functioning. In physiology, we study functioning of the body. Now, for an example, right, look at here. In anatomy, we study the structure, and physiology, we study the functioning. When it comes to the heart functioning, tell me what are the 3 events of a cardiac cycle, children? In O levels, you may have learned what are the 3 events of a cardiac cycle. First, the 2 atria contract simultaneously. How do we call it? Atrial systole. Then the 2 ventricles contract simultaneously. How do we call it? Ventricular systole. Then the time period at which both atria and ventricles are relaxing is called the complete cardiac diastole. Okay? That is the physiology, the functioning of the heart. And you may have heard of ECG. How many of you have taken an ECG for yourself? For some reason, if you, for a medical indication, if you have taken an ECG, just raise your hand. How many of you have taken an ECG? What is meant by ECG, children? What does that mean? ECG stand for what? That is electrocardiogram. Because in the heart wall, there are some electrical changes during the cardiac cycle. The heart is actually controlled by electrical activities. Even our brain has a lot of electrical activity. This electrical activity can be recorded, children, by placing the electrodes on the body surface. This electrical activity of the heart wall can be recorded. Then you get some waves. That is what we call the ECG. On a screen or a paper, you can get this recorded. Okay, these waves. That reflects how the electrical activity is taking place in the heart wall. So as an experienced clinician, by referring to the ECG tracing, we can interpret what goes wrong in the heart of the patient, especially the electrical blockages, electrical activity. If there's anything going wrong, for an example, let's say when a heart attack is experienced, a cardiac arrhythmia is experienced, when the normal rhythm is lost in the heart, like bradycardia and tachycardia, there are certain, like fluctuations, either increase or decrease heart rate than the normal. And, the heart attack, which we call the myocardial infarction. So that is characterized by certain changes in ECG, like ST elevation. You are not supposed to know these for A levels. But a doctor can interpret the ECG, and accordingly, the treatment plan will be started. So that is the importance of knowing the human anatomy and the human physiology, especially in the field of medicine. We need this knowledge. The anatomy knowledge and the physiology knowledge, both are very important. Now, have you heard of EEG, children? Now this is ECG, electrocardiogram. Are you aware of EEG? What is EEG? It's not egg. Egg is EGG. This is EEG. That is when the electrical activity of the brain is recorded, we call it EEG. Electroencephalogram is the term. ECG is electrocardiogram, and this is electroencephalogram. So that is the physiology. You may have heard that the ECG patterns during meditation is recorded in certain research. So the physiology is studying the functioning of the body. Right. Then the next branch of biology, biochemistry, that is studying of biological molecules. As we said previously, the main biological molecules are carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. And the next branch of biology is genetics, in which the inheritance patterns and the basics, the principles of inheritance is studied. Okay, even certain diseases are inherited, children. Even the cardiac diseases have a genetic background. Cardiac diseases are more common in males or females? Children, cardiac diseases are more common in males or females? What do you think? Just think about your family history. How many deaths due to cardiac arrests or heart attacks? Is it more common, more prevalent in males or females? Cardiac diseases, heart diseases. And just as a feedback, children, are you okay with the language? Like any comments from you? Because I want the feedback, because accordingly I will deliver the lecture. Just give me a feedback. Is the language fine, or you need some, help in the language, in understanding what I say in English? It's more convenient in English. Everything is fine, sir. All good, sir. Some children, you may have a language barrier, so you have to improve, because once you become a doctor also, you will need your language skills. So make it a challenge and try to improve your language as well, in case if you need that. So if there's anybody who does not understand the medical jargons, that is all fine. I mean, I'll explain them. A part of that, the basic delivery of the lecture is acceptable. I think you can receive it well. So what is gross structure? What we call dala view here in Sinhala is gross structure, because fine structure is when we study the things under the microscope, like just by dissecting the heart, what you see is the gross structure. But under the microscope, you can see more information, like the tissue structure. That is what we call ultrastructure. Gross structure is the rough. Gross means rough. Okay? Right. So let's proceed. Biochemistry, then genetics and ecology are some of the branches of biology. Can we say that it is the structure which is visible to the eyes? Yes, to a certain extent we can agree with that, because ultrastructure means the way that we see it under the microscope. Gross structure is, yeah, the way we see it with the unaided eyes. Okay, right. So that's the end of the first topic, Introduction to Biology. In the Memory Booster 1, check the first question, children. In Memory Booster 1, check the first question, please. In the Memory Booster 1, check the first question. Memory Booster 1, check the first question. Right, select the answer for the first question, children. So in the very first day, we start the paperwork, the question discussion as well. What is your answer for the first question? Quickly respond. What's the answer? Yes, I'm getting the correct answer from all children. It's the fourth one. Question is, which one of the following answers include the main three branches of biology? So fourth one says botany, zoology, microbiology. That is the answer. The first one says anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. They are branches of biology, but the main three branches are not those. The main three branches are botany, zoology, and microbiology. They are the main three branches. So the answer for question number 1 is number 4. Right, then try the second question, children. Now try the second question. Tell me the answer for the second question, everybody. Some say answer is 1, some say 2, some say 4. Those who are in the YouTube live too, respond and tell me the answers. This is the second question. What's the answer? Right. Select the incorrect pair. First one, histology, studying tissues. Is that correct? Yes. Anatomy, studying about gross structure of the body. That is correct. Physiology, studying functions. Correct. Ecology, studying environment. Correct. Biochemistry, studying chemical molecules. That is wrong. Why is that wrong, children? Biochemistry is not studying chemical molecules, it is studying biological molecules. Studying of chemical molecules, that is chemistry. Studying of biological molecules is biochemistry. Therefore, the answer is number 4. Answer is number 4. Okay? Right. Then let's go back to the theory work. First topic was completed, and then let's move into the next topic. Turn to page number, in the tute it's printed as page number 5 actually. Page number 4 is some additional information only. Let's, right, this is the topic. Understanding biological diversity. Okay, let's start reading, children. Understanding biological diversity. Read. At present, our planet is rich in diversity. Life on Earth formed around 3.5 billion years ago. First, let's do the reading. Thereafter, I'll explain. Life on Earth formed around 3.5 billion years ago. The first formed organisms are believed to be heterotrophic anaerobic prokaryotes. Since then, the evolutionary process resulted in the extensive biodiversity which exists in the biosphere now. Scientists assume, based on their studies, that there are about 10 million to over 100 million species in the world. Continue. There's a dynamic relationship between living world and the inanimate world. What is inanimate world, children? What is inanimate world? That is the non-living world. Inanimate world is the non-living world, okay? And each and every organism has a specific role in the environment for existence of the biosphere. The variety of life on Earth, the number of species of plants, animals, and microorganisms, and the diversity of genes in these species, the different ecosystems on the Earth, such as deserts, rainforests, and coral reefs, are all part of biologically diverse Earth. So we are starting the next topic in the notebook, right? The next topic, understanding biological diversity. Write the next topic, understanding biological diversity. Write the next topic, understanding biological diversity. Right. Now, first let's talk about the history of the Earth and the history of origin of life on Earth. Tell me now, which theory explained the origin, the formation of the Earth, the solar systems, the galaxies? So what is the theory explaining the formation of the solar systems, including the Earth? Just quickly tell me the answers. Right. Perfect. Big Bang theory. You are correct. It's Big Bang theory. So before starting the origin of life on Earth, let me give you some idea about the origin of the Earth. How old is the Earth, children? The rough estimation, how old is the Earth? It's approximately 4.6 billion years old. We believe that Earth was formed approximately 4.6 billion years before. And though this is just more towards physics, I'll show you a video. I'll show you a video in which the formation of the Earth by the Big Bang is explained. Right. So let's get an idea about the Big Bang theory with this video, children, and give me a comment regarding the audio quality and if there's any technical issue. Can you hear the audio well, children?
Apparently complex. Why is it so rich? Why isn't it simpler in the universe today?
So it turns out to make a universe like the one we see today, all we need is gas, hydrogen gas,
No.
and gravity. Now, gravity comes for free
Okay,
in our
easy to
universe, and it turns out to
But
make
since it's
stars
our
and
very
galaxies
first class,
is very
normally
easy.
in
You
my
still
class, I use a lot of
that were formed in the Big Bang,
videos
and
and
you wait.
presentations.
As we
So we
see,
have to,
the
technically
universe
adapt
was
for this work.
uniform.
In a physical class,
With
it can
hot
be easily done,
and
but in
cold
the
After about 380,000
this
years,
is more like
the superhot
broadcasting,
visible
so
universe
we'll fix it.
cooled enough for atoms of hydrogen.
Now is it
to
okay,
form,
children?
And this gas
Now can you hear well?
in the cool spots. As matter gathers, it produces gravity. More gravity attracts more matter,
I'll
and so on, until you
start it
end up
again,
with the
since
stars
in the
and the
beginning we
galaxies
could
we
not
see today.
hear well. Right. Get some basic understanding about the Big Bang theory with this video.
Did the universe have a beginning? If it did have a beginning, how did it happen?
Why is the universe as bizarre as it seems to be?
Will the universe have an end? Will it have a death?
Why is the universe so apparently complex? Why is it so rich? Why isn't it simpler?
Cosmologists are coming up with some of those answers today.
We've learned more about the universe in the last few decades than in the rest of human civilization put together.
One thing we do know today is that our universe is getting bigger.
If we look at our universe today, we find that it's expanding. The galaxies that are a long way away from our galaxy are moving away from us.
This discovery was made in the 1920s by the astronomer Edwin Hubble, with the biggest telescope of his day.
He pointed that telescope at distant galaxies. For the first time, we could see those distant galaxies. And he noticed something very funny about the light from them. The light from those galaxies was redshifted. That meant those galaxies were moving away from us. If you stand at the side of the road and you hear an ambulance drive past, you'll hear the siren on the ambulance as a high-pitched sound, and then the ambulance will drive past and the pitch of the siren will go low. The reason the pitch of the sound is changing is not because the siren's note is changing, it's because the ambulance is moving relative to us. There's a similar process for light, only this time it doesn't affect the noise, because light doesn't make a noise, it affects the colour of the light.
Like sound, light travels out from its source as a wave. Different colours of light have different wavelengths. Blue light has a relatively short wavelength, while red light has a relatively long wavelength. If an object is moving away from you, then the wavelength of the light is stretched. It moves towards the red end of the spectrum, and so we call this redshift. Every galaxy Hubble looked at was rushing away from ours.
He realized that the further away the galaxy was, the bigger the redshift of the light. That meant those galaxies were moving away from us at faster and faster speeds. It's not that the galaxies are moving apart, it's the fact that the entire universe is expanding. The whole of space is getting bigger.
Turned on its head, and this discovery leads us to an astonishing conclusion.
If something's bigger today than it was yesterday, then yesterday it was smaller than it is today.
Trying to run the movie backwards, you have to conclude, it's not rocket science, that all the matter that we see today must at one time have been in a very dense and hot region of space. And that is the phase that we call the Big Bang.
We've now more direct evidence that our universe started with the Big Bang.
If we can look in the right way at the universe, we should be able to see the afterglow from the Big Bang, the heat left over from the Big Bang.
Astronomers were looking for the smoke left after the fireworks, and sure enough, when they looked, they found it. This is a picture of the heat left over from the Big Bang. It is a picture of our early universe, and like a fossil record, it also gives us clues to how our universe evolved.
This early universe is spotty. It's like a spotty baby. It has hot and cold spots. These hot and cold spots are absolutely fundamental. Tells us that when the universe was the human equivalent of 1 day old, it wasn't perfectly uniform. It already had in it the seeds of the galaxies and the other structures that we see in the universe today.
So it turns out to make a universe like the one we see today, all we need is gas, hydrogen gas, and gravity. Now, gravity comes for free in our universe, and it turns out to make stars and galaxies is very easy. You simply take that gas that was formed in the Big Bang and you wait.
As we've seen, the early universe wasn't perfectly uniform. It had hot and cold spots. After about 380,000 years, the super-hot early universe had cooled enough for atoms of hydrogen to form, and this gas gathered in the cool spots. As matter gathers, it produces gravity. More gravity attracts more matter, and so on, until you end up with the stars and the galaxies we see today. But there is another more mysterious ingredient. When we study galaxies closely, it appears that they are spinning too fast to hold themselves together. There doesn't appear to be enough gravity to stop the stars from flying off into space.
Physics tells us there must be some gravity produced by matter that you just don't see. That's what today we call dark matter.
And for the universe to behave as it does, there must be about 5 times more of this invisible dark matter than there is of visible matter.
The dark matter is the circus master. It calls the tune. The dark matter is the force that has sculpted our universe. Without dark matter, there would be no galaxies. Without galaxies, there would be no stars. Without stars, there would be no planets. Without planets, there would be no people. We owe our existence to dark matter. Simple as that. No dark matter, no people.
It's taken around 13 billion years for our visible universe to get to where it is today. But what does the future hold? Until about 10 years ago, cosmologists had 3 theories for what would happen to our universe. 1, that the amount of gravity in the universe would slow its expansion down until it collapsed back in on itself. 2. If there wasn't enough gravity, then the universe would keep slowly expanding forever. And 3. That there would be just the perfect amount of gravity, so that the universe grew to a particular size and then stopped. But then astronomers discovered something completely unexpected.
Astronomers have made this amazing discovery. The expansion of the universe is accelerating. How can that be? Astronomers realize there must be something pushing. We don't know what it is, but we know it's there. This agency that is causing this accelerated expansion, it's called the dark energy.
So it appears that although we've answered a lot of the big questions, we are still left with many more.
We don't know what is the dark matter. We know it's there. We don't know what it is.
What went bang? What happened in the very early stages of our universe? We don't know the answer to that either.
We haven't got the faintest clue as to what our universe is going to be doing billions of years from now. We just don't know because we don't understand the dark energy.
We need help, you know. If there are any scientists out there, young people who want to try and answer these questions, we need help because we don't understand an awful lot about the universe.
There's a lot to play for and lots of exciting new discoveries waiting to be made.
The Earth, as far as we know, it's the only.
Right. So, as it was explained in this video,
Did the universe have a beginning? If it did have a beginning,
now we believe that the Earth and the solar systems were formed as a result of the Big Bang. So, the basic idea now here, this is explained with physics concepts. Now, when the scientists observed the stars with the telescopes, they could see that the color of the star is shifting towards red. That's a physics concept which we call the redshift. And as it's demonstrated here, what happened is when the light emitting star is moving away from the Earth, the wavelength of light increases. You know that the wavelength decides the color. So when the star is moving away from the Earth, the wavelength of light increases. Therefore, the color of light is shifting towards red. That is what we call the red shift in physics. That is an evidence for scientists to state that the universe is expanding. This is such a demonstration. The universe is expanding. The one evidence for that is the red shift. The stars are gradually shifting towards red in their color. That's because of the expansion of the universe. The Earth and the stars are getting more and more distant. Now, scientists always think in a different way. So they thought that now if the universe is expanding, the Earth and the other planets, solar systems, galaxies are moving away from each other. So the distance will increase than today by tomorrow. The next week it will be further increased. The next month it will be further increased because the universe is expanding. But if we go back in time, the universe has to contract. So the distance between the Earth and the, let's say, other planets, the stars, the solar system should be decreasing if we go back in time. So their rough estimation, approximately 13.8 billion years before, all this matter was present as a singularity. All this matter was there as one mass. And when such a high amount of matter is there as a single mass, the temperature increases in the core, even in the Earth. there's a high temperature in the core. So that may lead to the explosion, which we call the Big Bang, which gave origin to the Earth and all the other solar systems of the universe, but not exactly right after the Big Bang. The Big Bang took place around 13.8 billion years before, but the Earth is estimated to about 4.6 billion in its age. So that is one idea that science has about the origin of the Earth. And though the Earth was formed about 4.6 billion years before, the life originated on Earth approximately 1 billion years later. So it's 3.5 billion years before the life originated. And some interesting things in this video. Now we know that the universe is expanding, and scientists found that this expansion is accelerating. This expansion is accelerating. So we don't know exactly what is the power behind that. Scientists call it the dark energy. So these are some interesting things. First, try to draw the interest towards the subjects. So these days you are not very busy with work. So you can do some research in biology, physics, chemistry, and first draw the interest towards the subject. Then the studying will not be difficult for you because you have the interest. So the most important thing is you need to love the subject. So I normally say that you can have 3 lovers at this stage. Not just one, you can have 3 lovers. Who are they? Biology, physics, and chemistry. And make sure that you treat them equally. If you ill-treat one subject, that will take the revenge in the exam. So there will be personal preferences in your subjects. Some may like biology the most, some may like physics, some may like chemistry. That's completely fine, but make sure that you maintain a good balance between the 3 subjects, because what finally matters is your overall result, not the individual subject result. Sometimes even some teachers forget this principle, so they just keep the child, stuck in their subject. Then they don't get time to do the other subjects. So you have to maintain the balance. Maybe that teacher has just 1 subject, but don't forget that you have 3 subjects. So maintain a good balance between the 3 subjects if you want to win this race. Okay, so that video explained about the origin of the Earth, and then moving to the origin of life. What do you know, children? What are the ideas that you have about the origin of life on Earth? There are some religious beliefs in Christianity, in Islam, like religions, they believe the creation. The theory of creation is what they believe. They believe that a superpower, the God, has created the living organisms on the Earth. There are different ideas. Okay, none of them is proven actually. The theory of creation is not proven and not disproven as well. On the other hand, some scientists believe that the life was not formed on Earth, but it is received by the Earth from outer space. That is called the cosmozoic theory. Even Buddhism has such an idea. Okay, what said in Buddhism is Brahmalokin, Brahmayukhandaya Makava, such an idea. So it's related to the cosmozoic theory, which explains the receiving of life from the outer space. And scientists had a certain idea. I mean, they tried to explain it with the known physics and chemistry principles. That is the biochemical evolution. But we will be studying of those in the future. Now, at the introductory level, you got to memorize these figures. Tell me how old is the Earth, children? It's 4.6 billion years old. And the life originated on Earth approximately 3.5 billion years before. And the first form of life on Earth were heterotrophic. They were not autotrophic. There were no photosynthetic organisms. They were just heterotrophs who fed on organic compounds which were available in the primitive oceans, and they were anaerobic organisms. The reason, there was just little oxygen available in the primitive atmosphere, so they were anaerobic organisms, plus they were prokaryotes. So you got to remember these three characteristics of the first form of life on Earth. Study with me. What are the three characteristics, children? They are anaerobic, heterotrophic, prokaryotes. Okay, right. So let's, these are some other videos about the formation, I mean, how the Earth got changed. Later, we can watch these in the relevant lessons. Right, okay, let's continue with the theory writing next. Start the topic. Understanding biological diversity. We have 30 minutes remaining, children. Start the topic, understanding biological diversity. Understanding biological diversity. Write down. Earth was formed. The Earth was formed about 4.6 billion. The Earth was formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The Earth was formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The Earth was formed about 4.6 billion years ago. The Earth was formed about 4.6 billion years ago. And life originated on Earth, and life originated on Earth about 3.5 billion years before. Life originated on Earth about 3.5 billion years before. Life originated on Earth around 3.5 billion years before. Next point. First form of organisms on Earth, first form of organisms or living organisms on Earth, first form of living organisms on Earth were anaerobic, heterotrophic, prokaryotes. Were anaerobic, heterotrophic, prokaryotes. Were anaerobic, heterotrophic, prokaryotes. Next point. As a result of evolution, or as a result of the process of evolution, as a result of the process of evolution, life diversified on Earth. As a result of the process of evolution, life diversified on Earth. Thereby producing a wide biodiversity, thereby producing a wide biodiversity, thereby producing a wide biodiversity that we experience at present, thereby producing a wide biodiversity that we experience at present. Even in the background video, you can see some of the related events, how the life is getting diversified on Earth. Continue writing, children. There are three main components in biodiversity. 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 Number one, genetic diversity. There are three main components in biodiversity. Number one, genetic diversity. What is genetic diversity, children? Now, we are different in our characteristics. The skin color, the eye color, the height, the musculature of the body, and in our characteristics, we differ from each other. That's due to the difference in our genetic constitution. We are different in our genetic constitution, genetic information. That's why we differ in our characteristics. That diversity is what we call genetic diversity. The set of genes and the information present in that of you is different to your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your neighbors. Now, you know that the human population has exceeded 8 billion by now. Our resource book says it's 7 billion, but that is not the correct value. The resource book is not updated. The current human population on the earth is over 8 billion. And all the humans except the monozygotic twins. Monozygotic twins are the twins who are born from the same zygote by just a single fertilization. So except the monozygotic twins, all the other individuals number one is genetic diversity. That's the difference in the genetic information between living organisms, maybe of the same species or even of different species. Then number two, the species diversity. In the environment, there are different types of species available. Humans is just one species. What are the different ecosystems that you know, children? What are the different ecosystems that you have heard of? There are rainforests, mangroves ecosystem, deserts, grasslands. So the earth is rich in a wide ecosystem diversity as well. There are different types of ecosystems which differ in their vegetation, the plant species available, the animal species available, and even by the temperature, the humidity. So by various means, they differ from each other. That is the ecosystem diversity. Right here in this video, now you see some dinosaurs. Are they real, children? Are the dinosaurs real? Of course. The fossil records are available. And the history of Earth is divided into 4 eons. Later we will be learning them. The history of Earth is divided into 4 eons. As Hadean eon, Proterozoic eon, Hadean eon is the first one. Then the Archean eon is there. Proterozoic and Phanerozoic are the 4. And eons are then divided into eras. You may have heard of the term Jurassic, like in the movie Jurassic Park. It comes from a particular era of the Earth's history, which we call the Jurassic period. The dinosaurs were dominating the environment in the Jurassic period, but now they have become extinct. Time to time, the dominating species of the planet world, of the planet in the world is changing, children. Okay, in the Jurassic era, the dinosaurs were dominating the environment. Now, what we are passing now is the Cenozoic. And now being humans and let's say mammals are dominating the animal world. But in the future, maybe we will get extinct. Seems like our political leaders like, Donald Trump and the other parties like Iran, Israel. So they are heading towards a nuclear war, little by little. So in the future, in a biology class, like I'm teaching you, saying that in the Mesozoic, let's say in the Jurassic period, actually, in the Jurassic period, the dinosaurs were dominating the environment. In the future, in a biology class of that particular dominating species, a teacher will deliver a lecture to their students saying that a long time back, the humans were dominating the environment and they got extinct. We don't know the reason, maybe the nuclear weapons. Okay. So the world is changing. The planet Earth is changing time to time. There are episodes. We are passing a particular episode now. So the life has a history of approximately 3.5 billion years. And we have forgotten that we are just a part of the wide biodiversity. So we are destroying the environment, we are destroying the biodiversity, forgetting that it's like we are also part of biodiversity. So this is a very interesting story. We will be discussing more of these, especially in unit number 3 and to a certain extent in environmental biology. We will be studying about biomes and the extinction process. Okay. And now there's this de-extinction work done by humans. They are bringing back the extinct species. Like Direwolf project has been already completed. And now scientists are working on bringing back the woolly mammoth. So one day in Kandi Perahara, we can have a woolly mammoth Huh? And the ultimate project is to bring back the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the T-Rex, the king of dinosaurs. So biology is a fascinating field, and it's especially when biology is blended with technology. Biotechnology is pretty interesting. So I invite you, don't just think traditionally. Of course, if you are passionate about medicine, go for it. But at the same time, see to the other fields available as well. Okay? Right. So there is understanding biological diversity. As the last we have mentioned, there are three main components in biodiversity. Tell me, what are the main three components, children? In biodiversity, what are the main three components? The genetic diversity, species diversity, what's the other? The ecosystem diversity. Right. So let's continue with the next topic. I'll join with the other screen. In the PDF, what's the next topic? Understanding human body and its functions. Let's read that too, children. When studying biology, especially by studying histology and anatomy of the human body, one can gain the knowledge about the structure of the organs. This results in understanding and appreciation of the organization of the human body and understanding the functions of different organ systems and the relationship between structure and functions. In the next page, I have given an additional reading. It's about body dissections. Read that, children. Anatomy dissection is a fundamental practice in the medical and scientific fields. The process of dissecting cadavers not only enhances understanding of human anatomy, but it is also crucial in fostering skills required for medical and health professionals. This section explores the essence of anatomy dissection and its pivotal role as a foundation for advanced studies in medicine and related fields. Okay, let's go back to the tute. Let's go back to the tute. This is page number 6. You can see there's a picture. It's actually dummy, but in Sri Lanka, especially in the medical school, you can do the real dissections when you are studying the subject anatomy. And the children, those who are planning to become surgeons one day, the children, if you are planning to become surgeons one day, you have to have good hand skills as well. Unlike the other medical doctors, a surgeon needs to be skillful, because when a surgery is performed, every work should be done with perfect precision. Okay? So you need to have good manual dexterity for that. Now just assume that if you are a person, you know, there are different skills of different people. So just assume that you are going to perform a dissection. Okay, you are going to perform a dissection. Right. So it has to be a very fine work, right? But if you have a tremor like, you know, epileptic patient, then just assume that when you are making this incision here, so if you have a tremor, so this is how you're going to cut, open the body. Okay, so it's a zigzag cut you have made, and if you are planning to become a surgeon, make sure that you have good hand skills as well, not just the knowledge. The hand skills are also important for a surgeon. How many of you would like to become surgeons, children? If you have any idea of your future profession, just tell me in the chat. Children, can you hear me well? Hope you can hear. Yes, there's a cardiac surgeon. We call it cardiothoracic surgeon. And any other ideas? Okay, so some of you are planning to become surgeons, so not just the knowledge, the skill you need to have. Otherwise, your patients will have to suffer, not you basically, but the patients will suffer if you are not a skillful surgeon. Right. Then let's move on with right. Children, here the community link is added to the Zoom chat. We have added the community link to the Zoom chat, and also we are adding the community link to the YouTube chat as well. So you can click that and join with the community, and the class updates will be given through this community. So make sure that you join with the community for the future communication work. And complete your registration with CCG Online Mahagadara as soon as possible to get your tutes delivered. And this is our first day of the class. We are discussing unit number 1, Introduction to Biology. And the real online experience is given to you with this plan rather than the live streaming of a physical class. Right. Let's continue with the discussion. We are having just 5 minutes more. Just let's read out the next part. I'll explain it with some videos. With the time available, we can decide whether we can complete the work today or maybe next week. Let's do the reading part first. Understanding diseases and causes. Start reading, children. To maintain healthy human body, one should have the knowledge of causes of the diseases and their effects. Some dangerous diseases which exist in current world are non-communicable diseases such as cancers, heart diseases, diabetes, chronic renal diseases, and communicable diseases such as dengue and AIDS. Children, as you know, certain diseases are communicable. It's transmitted from one to another, from the disease to the healthy ones. Those are the communicable diseases. But if we take a cancer, cardiac diseases, like they are not communicable. They are not transmitted from one person to another. Okay? Now here, the communicable diseases that they have given in the resource book include dengue. Dengue is caused by which organism, children? The common answer I get from children is as mosquitoes. That is wrong, not mosquitoes. Actually, dengue is caused by viruses, arboviruses. Mosquitoes are just vectors only. They just carry the virus from one person to the other. A part of that, mosquito is not responsible in causing the disease. It's just the vector. Okay? And AIDS, what does AIDS stand for? It's acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Everybody say it. What's AIDS? Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Okay, let's continue reading. Today, since we don't have much time remaining, let's complete the reading part and then we can do the writing and further discussion will be done next week. Okay, continue reading, children. Cancers, the next type. Causes for this is not fully understood yet. We know to a certain extent, but not 100% understood yet. Cancers are one of the leading causes of death. AIDS is a viral disease which is a serious and growing health problem worldwide. Heart diseases. This is also a serious and growing health problem worldwide. Causes are not fully understood yet. Chronic renal diseases in Sri Lanka recently CKDU. That means chronic kidney disease of unknown etiology. CKDU means chronic kidney disease of unknown etiology has become a serious health problem. Currently, scientists are working on prevention, remedial measures, and cures for such diseases. Right. Now, right, the health conditions. Right, children, can you hear me well? Can you hear me? Yes, right? Okay, so we had the basic discussion today. And today only we started the syllabus work, children. Last Saturday we had an introductory session only. There we explained you how the basic preparation is done. And today only we started the discussion with the first unit, Introduction to Biology. We discussed some of the basic concepts of biology and finally we read about the diseases. So next week we will be discussing what is myocardial infarction. That is the technical, the medical term for the heart attack. Because in the heart wall, there are three layers, as I said, as the endocardium, the myocardium, and the pericardium. Myocardium is the muscular part. Infarction means the death, children. Infarction means death. But you can't use these terms, you know, unnecessarily, because it's a medical term, not just for the death of a person. We can use this term. Okay, so don't go to a funeral and ask that, has he infarcted or something? Okay, so infarction means the death of cells basically. So when the myocardial cells are dead, we call it myocardial infarction. And here, right, we got to discuss about this condition with a video, but since the time is not we talked about the ECG today, and now this is how a coronary artery bypass grafting work is done to as the surgical intervention for a coronary obstruction, how the angioplasty, the stent is placed. Those are the things that we got to discuss next. This is how a bypass surgery is performed. So let's have a discussion about these in the next week class. Today we don't have time, it's almost 10:30. And the basic discussion about the diseases, including the myocardial infarction and how the surgical intervention can be done in treating such patients. Like one common method is the coronary angioplasty, and some of you are also dreaming of becoming cardiothoracic surgeons, cardiologists. So it's a service plus a challenging profession. Let's talk about these in detail next week since the time is limited. So as I told you previously, you need to join with our community, and you can get the hard copies of the tutorials to your doorstep through the courier service. For that, you have to do the immediate registration of the work. And we are providing you the best online education experience via CCG Online Mahagedara. So as I told you, we have the best panel of teachers, the most experienced and the qualified teachers with the best results. So make sure that you are joining with the panel of teachers here, and you will get the best service. And it's a teamwork. We are working with you together. There are many people working with me right now, the technical staff, and we all are working for your success. So as a dedicated work, we are doing it, not just live streaming of the classes. And we know that you have big hopes, especially we want to standardize the field, not just as ordinary traditional teaching, we do it here. So we want to take your education to the global level. That's what we are trying here, and hope you are enjoying what we do, and we need to see the results of this work as well. So inform your friends that the next level online education is here with us at CCG Online Mahagedara. So pass the message to your friends and inform them. And today we are going to wind up now. Next week we will be starting the discussion from where we stopped, the understanding diseases and causes. There we can talk about cardiac diseases and some other diseases. Okay, children, so hope you enjoyed and learned a lot with today's class. Since it's 10:30 past, let's stop for the day. You got the question paper, try the other questions. We have started doing questions in the very first day. Next week, you will get the memory booster number 2 and get the tutes delivered as soon as possible through the courier service by registering with the classes. Okay, so let's stop for the day then. Wish all of you a peaceful good night and see you next week. Pass the message to your friends and join with the community, and be determined to win this game with outstanding performance. Okay, children, good night then. See you next week.
এসেছে